Greetings and salutations. I hope everyone is having themselves a mighty fine day. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so the Ghost of 13-month series does not get you. I actually wasn't gonna make a video today. I still don't feel well. I feel better. I don't feel well, but I'm better than I was during the live reaction where I was sounding crazy. Hopefully I don't sound as bad as I did yesterday. Well, that being said, there's actually a couple of comments that I saw in the last live reaction that I thought were interesting, and I wanted to kind of go over them, give my 2 cents about it, and kind of talk about my feelings on the chapter and what's been going on. So let's hop right in without any further delay.
時々俺が綺麗どうもそして僕を見て頑張りますあのね Y'all talking time just tick away You ain't clocking I was on the day All that watch is stopping what you claim Dollar crosses real got me name Hoping God just get me out this way.
The translation for these chapters were very good. There was a lot of misleading stuff, and when I went and I checked a different translation, I was able to kind of clarify a couple of things. Like, I don't know if you guys know this. Sometimes probably heard me call a canine people houndborns because I actually think houndborns comes off a lot better than canine person. So sometimes I use terms that I got from a translation that didn't necessarily come from line webtoons. They're not great. We all know this. I don't have to go over that. There's a lot of things that I guess not a lot of things, but like there's a couple of things that happen in the chapter that I think are really noteworthy. I do like Rack having the ancient spear, and he has like a canine something carrier that he has to use to kind of carry it. I saw someone in the comment section say it's almost akin to whatever Yuri keeps Kranos in, so that's kind of cool. And then obviously his friends coming to help him. I don't think Bam needed the help, but it makes it a lot easier, because Rack will be able to hit him with the spear. And I did see a comment also kind of exclaim that they weren't a fan of that, solely due to the fact that the spear is going to hit automatically because of the game. And I don't know if you guys remember me saying this, but I was saying if the game that they're playing with the crab allows them to do stuff like this, I would say, like, okay, while it's not interesting and I don't care about this stock market lesson that SIU is trying to give us, that's pretty significant to be able to summon a spear bearer to the field to throw it once, but it's a guaranteed hit. It's not even like Kuda would have to kind of calculate it, and then Rack has to make sure he doesn't miss. He's going to hit automatically. So some people didn't enjoy that, and I could understand why. But before I continue this, some wise words from the smartest man I know. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so the Ghost of the 13-month series does not get you, and you can stay notified. Check my description for various links, like the links to my Discord, and follow me at Young Paperwork on Twitter. Comment and share, and definitely follow me on Twitch. And now, back to the video. What an intelligent and good-looking fellow. But anyways, yeah, so Rack and Aguero come to the field. And listen, I kind of have mixed feelings about this. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's really nice to see, right? I really want to see more combination of like actual positions doing things. So if Bam is the fisherman going in close combat, Aguero was supporting using lighthouse tactics while while Rack is throwing spears, I'm okay with this, okay? Again, personally don't think Bam needed the help, but again, it's nice. And Aguero is always going to be useful in my opinion because he's highly intelligent, and all he has to do is really scheme and come up with these different machinations. And plus the sweet fish with the Yeon family flair is helping Bam power up himself so he can absorb White's power. So this is all whatever. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not moving me. I'm not mad at it. Like, truth be told, I'm probably super mentally checked out of this battle. Like, it's not moving me. So like, I kind of don't care. Like, I'm ready to move on. So however we kind of get past this, it is what it is. So, but again, it's nice to see them here to some degree. It's hard to explain because it's one of those things where it's jarring. I don't think it's really like necessary, but hey, they're here. And these are his two best friends. What I care about is Asensio. The Asensio and Aguero conversation to me is very telling because it lets me know for sure Machete has been scheming something since the last station. Since she pulled up on Hajin's song, made him go to Caliban, then hit him with the sneaker sneak, then after getting Hajin's song, putting him in a prison, luring Bam all the way here. She needs or wants something or some type of chaos and bloodshed. She was talking about in New Ways at the end of season 2. So there's something she has going on here, and she be scheming. So that excites me because Asensio is a branch leader. or has his own faction in the family. I don't know if we're gonna see more Lopobia people come through, some more branch leaders. To me, this could signify something going on with some of the families. Like, there's a lot of intrigue here moving forward. So, like, the truth of the matter is, I'm personally done with the Bam and White conflict. But I do want to go over these two comments here that I thought were interesting because they had a pretty good back and forth. And I would like to chime in. So, Tristan Boss says, I'll be honest, I don't really like this. It's not that Kun being able to help doesn't make sense, and Rack's spear being able to damage White just enough to break his concentration is fine. What I don't like is what little emotional weight there was to this fight. It almost seems killed off. The entire point of the fight was for Bam to avenge Arc after it prints. Putting aside the does Bam care debate, Guerrero and Rack definitely don't care. They really have no stakes in this revenge. I guess it's supposed to be karmic irony. So, like, you know, bad juju coming full circle. Again, where Bam's actions cause others to help him and White's cause him to be alone and helpless. I still would have preferred if we were serious about this dark change and for Bam to end and devour White alone. Then the fight would have at least stayed badass and would give a feeling of danger. The first White fight, regardless of how some consider it an ass pull, is my second favorite fight in the series after Bam versus Al Jihad. The fight had so much emotional weight, and White getting sent flying by his own sword was the most satisfying thing I ever saw in the series. The way Bam attracted the souls and won by following his gut made it possible not to cheer. He looked like Shiro Emiya with the sword. The ending with the girl flashback made everything so bittersweet and brought out so many emotions. This fight isn't doing that. Watching Bam go ham with the darkness was cool to watch at least, but this climax just feels boring, predictable, and somewhat forced. And here's what someone else had to say, Nicholas Fernandez. I don't really agree with this since it's really good in order to show us the soul contrast between the two of them. Loneliness has been a theme in the webtoon for a long time, especially according to Bam. Even Arya pointed out how White would have no one to mourn him when he would die. White's only ally is his sword. He is being used against him in order to take his own power from him. On the other hand, Bam, who was always feared to be alone, is now helped by his friends. And you're right, it's ironic since his actions that brought his friends to help him against White, something he doesn't want, but it also shows that his friends are capable of making their own decisions despite the risk, which contradict Bam's mindset. The dark change is already here, and we will see the consequences of this change soon, probably. So I think it's a good way to conclude the fight without killing any emotional weight, since the change is already settled, and all that's left is the conclusion. This is my only view on this anyway. Every opinion is valid, so yeah. I found that exchange to be interesting because of just the contrast and how some of them saw it. I think one thing we can all agree is that loneliness and Bam has been a theme for a long time. From the cave to Rachel to him wanting to have friends, blah blah. Like that is actually all well said and put, and that's been portrayed pretty well throughout the story. I would argue that this White and Bam conflict is forced though. Like, I don't have any personal investment in this, and White goading Bam to do this because of Prince and Arc after being dead didn't move me personally, because I don't think Bam really cared about those niggas or was really a good friend to them like that. Like, call them pocket. You really didn't know what was going on. Like, for me, it's kind of weak. So I'm kind of in the middle of these two conversations here. Can see both sides. I think there's valid points there, but I want to highlight that important now, and I want to know how you guys feel about this, like, fight, the conflict, the theme. Are they foils to one another, where they have some parts where they overlap? But you know, even White says himself when he fights the Goblin, yo, whatever, Green Goblin, somewhat different than other humans. Ass dude was like, hey, you know, I'm a predator. You know, people don't stay by my side as often. Even when I was, like, I guess, you know, a prominent figure in F.U.G, they worshiped me, but, you know, and they had the little blood thing under their eyes like White did. But, you know, people don't stay around him often because he consumes all. So I think there's moments in points where SIU kind of showed some of that stuff really well. But when you bring these two characters together, I would just argue that he didn't do the best job making it particularly memorable. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. All things considered, I think the chapter is whatever. It's fine. It was solid. It works. I think I'm just checked out. I'm ready to move on. So I'm probably at the point where it doesn't really matter what's happening here. I just kind of want to keep it pushing. You see what I'm saying? All right, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. You guys have yourselves a mighty fine day. I'll go back to bed.
In my drugs, pour it in my cup, sitting in my darkness with my ghouls, we pouring up. I don't really give a fuck, I don't really have a say. You tell me that I suck, I tell you get up out my face. You got tears in your eyes, looking like a fool.